In the quiet countryside of early 20th century Romania, nestled behind the stone walls of a grand estate, a sinister secret waited in silence. A secret wrapped in love, cloaked in death, and sealed in dozens of coffins buried deep beneath the surface. This is not just a story of murder. It's a story of obsession, of a woman who could not bear to be left, of lovers who vanished, not into the night, but into a wine cellar lined with death. This is the tale of Vera Renczi, a woman who, quite literally, loved to death. Vera Renczi's origins are as shadowy as the deeds she would later commit. Records vary, but most accounts place her birth between 1903 and 1907 in Bucharest, Romania. Some claim she was born to Hungarian aristocrats and raised in the Serbian town of Bucharest. The exact details are fuzzy, but one thing is certain: Vera was a woman of striking beauty and magnetic presence. She had dark, captivating eyes and raven-black hair that framed a face both delicate and dangerous. As a child, she exhibited signs of volatility and erratic behavior. Her mother died when she was very young, and Vera was raised by her father, a wealthy businessman who struggled to control her impulsiveness. By the time she was a teenager, Vera was already involved in intense relationships with older men. These weren't innocent schoolgirl crushes. They were possessive, consuming affairs. Her beauty and charm masked an inner turbulence, a deep fear of abandonment and a need to possess those she loved. Vera was not content with being admired. She needed devotion. Complete, total, unyielding. In her early 20s, Vera married a successful Austrian banker. He was older, wealthy, and appeared to give her the stability she craved. For a while, it seemed like Vera had found her happy ending. But obsession has a way of eroding even the most promising beginnings. Soon she began accusing him of infidelity, of wandering eyes and hidden affairs. The passionate love she once showed curdled into suspicion and jealousy. Arguments became frequent, tension simmered. Then one day, he vanished. Vera told everyone he had abandoned her and their young son, Lorenzo, but no one saw him leave. No goodbye, no trace, just gone. Years later, investigators would discover he never left the house at all. Following her husband's disappearance, Vera's behavior grew increasingly erratic. She moved into a sprawling mansion on the outskirts of town, raising her son in an atmosphere that some neighbors described as stifling and eerie. Visitors to the home reported a strange energy, as if something was hiding just beneath the surface. Over the next decade, men came and went from the estate. Widowers, bachelors, married men sneaking into the night. Each man seemed to fall hopelessly in love with Vera. Her beauty was intoxicating, her presence magnetic. But all of them had something in common. They never left. One by one, her lovers disappeared without a trace. Vera always had an excuse. They had moved abroad, gone on business, grown tired of her. But the rumors began to circulate. Why did so many men enter her home but never return? No one dared to confront her. She was wealthy, elegant, a socialite. Who would accuse a woman of such grace and charm of murder? Beneath Vera's home was a wine cellar. It was locked, always, and no one but she entered it. To outsiders, it was a simple storage space. But Vera was not storing wine. She was storing bodies. When authorities finally broke into the cellar years later, what they found shocked even the most hardened investigators. Inside were 51 coffins, neatly arranged in rows. Each contained the body of a man who had once been Vera's lover. Some had been dead for days, others for decades. The stench of decay was thick, but the coffins were surprisingly well maintained. Vera had preserved her victims like trophies. She visited the cellar frequently, sometimes sitting for hours among the dead. On a small table in the center was a glass of wine, unfinished, waiting. Forensic analysis revealed a chilling consistency in her killings. Each victim had been poisoned, most likely with arsenic, a substance that was colorless, tasteless, and easy to acquire during that time. Dr. Andre Moraru, a forensic toxicologist, explains, arsenic causes a slow, painful death. Symptoms mimic natural illness, vomiting, abdominal pain, weakness. By the time symptoms appeared, it was too late. Vera could watch them die slowly, under the guise of caring for them. Vera would sit by their side as they withered, holding their hand, whispering reassurances, all the while knowing they would never leave her again. While Vera was seducing and killing, her son Lorenzo grew up inside that house. He eventually became aware of the strange disappearances. Some say he confronted his mother. Others say he simply left, unable to reconcile the woman who raised him with the monster he suspected she had become. His absence did nothing to slow Vera down. The beginning of the end came when one of Vera's lovers, a married businessman, disappeared. His wife, unlike the others, did not accept Vera's vague explanations. She went to the police and demanded an investigation. Initially, the authorities hesitated, but eventually they arrived at the mansion. Vera welcomed them with her usual grace, but when they requested access to the cellar, her composure cracked. The officers forced the door. Inside, the horror revealed itself. Row after row of coffins, the decomposing bodies, the documentation she had kept, names, dates, details of their deaths. All of it. Vera didn't run. She didn't deny it. She simply said, "They stopped loving me, so I stopped them from leaving." The courtroom was packed with journalists, curious onlookers, and legal scholars. Vera's trial captivated the nation. A female serial killer, elegant and composed, confessing to over 50 murders? It was unprecedented. She remained calm during the trial, cold even. When asked if she regretted her actions, she replied, "I regret nothing. I kept them close. They were mine." The court found her guilty on all counts. She was sentenced to life in prison. Imprisonment and death. Vera's life in prison was marked by silence and madness. Some reports claim she withdrew completely, speaking to no one. Others say she screamed into the night, calling out the names of her dead lovers. No one knows for certain how she died, only that she passed away in the late 1960s, alone, just as she feared. Here's where things get murky. While Vera Renczi's story has been widely circulated, hard evidence is elusive. There are no surviving court records, no verified prison documents, no confirmed photographs. So the question must be asked, was Vera Renczi real? Professor Ilona Braddock, historian, we may never know. Some say she was a composite figure. Others believe her story was exaggerated by tabloids. But myth or not, her tale reveals something powerful about our fear of obsession and the blurred lines between love and possession. Whether Vera Renczi lived or not, her legend remains a haunting tale of what can happen when love turns into obsession and obsession into death. In popular culture, Vera represents the ultimate dark seductress, the woman whose beauty could kill. Her story has inspired books, podcasts, and theories about the nature of toxic love. She wasn't just a serial killer. She was a symbol, a cautionary tale about passion without limits, love without boundaries, the woman who loved to death. Thank you for watching this deep dive into one of history's most haunting and enigmatic figures. If this story captivated you as much as it captivated us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We have more stories coming, tales from the shadows, whispers from the past, and voices that refuse to be forgotten. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.